Or are you going live right now? Preparing broadcast.
Share the link.
You're live right now on Facebook.
And YouTube and Twitter.
No, but I can't. We're live on where? Is it live to now Facebook? Playing around with the S7, guys. It's an S7 Galaxy and definitely testing it out. It's pretty badass. You can actually share to multiple platforms at one time. So, yeah. So I guess there's a Jason Wilcox live broadcast right now on Facebook. And I'm just looking at it on my other phone here. And I'm also live on YouTube at the same time. So, guys, the Galaxy S7 for you guys out there that are doing YouTube and stuff. Right now on Facebook. Oh shit, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, that's even more trippy. So anyway, guys, live updates real quick while I'm on here then. May as well make it worth it. The coalition, guys, a lot of people have asked me about the ACMPR. I can tell you now you need to get in and transfer your papers if possible. Talk to your doctors and see if you can get into the ACMPR program. The ACMPR, is my understanding, is going to be a temporary program. Those acronyms are temporary. In this November, I mean this month coming up, the legalization task force is going to speak. When they speak, then the federal government's going to take whatever they say and do whatever the hell it is that they're going to do with it. And my fear, and I'm going to go on record now, a lot of people have been wondering why I've been sitting back quiet. It's been waiting for legal counsel. It's been waiting to get a better understanding of what potentially could happen and hearing it from the lion's mouth, which of course is always hearing from your attorneys. And my biggest fear, guys, is if they do not do a grandfather clause, if they were to do a grandfather clause, I'm trying to see if I can actually, can you see if I can get comments on this so I can respond on Facebook? That's on YouTube right now. So I was going to see if I can respond to any questions because it's important. I put out a big update. I asked John to write a very large update to explain to everybody exactly what's going on because there's been a lot of questions out there. And my biggest fear is now, after fighting 4 years in Allard to make sure we won the constitutional regulatory option to grow, is that the federal government could very well dance around Allard. What I mean by dance around, I mean grandfather us all in, or grandfather in only the ACMPR, and then allow a transitional period for the injunction, and then lift the veil of the injunction 90 days afterwards. At which point they would literally crush a lot of gardens. There are so many things going through my head right now that pisses me off because we fought for the constitutional regulatory option to be implemented and sustained in Canada, not a temporary band-aid. And the ACMPR is turning out to be a band-aid. Now, if they were to do this, guys, think about it. Everyone's thinking, I'm safe under injunction, I'm staying right here. And they're not even attempting to get into that ACMPR. The federal government has made a window opportunity for a year, whatever, year and a half, for people to go and get their grow licenses. So I believe that if they lifted the veil of the injunction, everybody would have to then worry about transitioning within the 90-day period or the 6-month period, whatever the government gives, for you to transfer into the ACMPR, which won't be much after giving us a year. Then they'll give you a chance to potentially transfer. Again, this is all speculation. I'm not saying I know. Remember, I'm the same guy that in 2012, when I said I was going to restrain the federal government of Canada and put them on trial, everybody thought I was freaking crazy. So, I'm telling you now, I believe that the federal government is looking to heavily restrict and arbitrarily and overbroad, in my own opinion, restrict gardening. It's not a constitutional right to grow a plant. It's a regulatory option. We secured that. We reinforced that through Allard by showing that we were no public safety. But that, the government has to argue that they have reasonable access so that they can actually remove gardening. My fear is that the legalization task force, who has talked nothing, is my understanding. I mean, we don't know. There's just rumors, but they haven't talked nothing really of legalization with plants. They've been talking and kicking around 1 ounce per adult under legalization. Likely that means bought from licensed producers' dispensary storefronts when that time comes. So again, this is like a 5-year forward-looking transition. My concern right now is that patients who don't listen to the coalition and the leadership of the coalition and trust what we're telling you, I'll point. Once again, our lawyers don't like it when I talk like this, but I'm an activist and an advocate for you. I'm not for the bar, I'm not for the friggin' lawyers. My friends, there are no expiry dates and no renewal dates on those licenses for a reason. I hate to say it, but for a reason. And I fear once again, I fear a grandfather clause. And it could go one of two ways. They could lump the injunction and ACMPR in together and just grandfather us all, and then 100,000 people maybe can grow for the rest of our lives in Canada, and then nobody else can. They could very well do that. And if they did do that, then yeah, it'd be met with more court challenges. We know that. I mean, Mr. Connor and I looked at any options. I mean, I was very blunt. I wanted to know, is this a possibility? And anything's possible at this point. Do we think that they're going to actually try to dance around Allard with a whole world's attention? I mean, I'm about to fly over to Australia. I've been offered to companies flying me over there to speak. They're about to legalize, and they're doing the same thing, arbitrarily trying to ban growing. And I've been asked to go over and speak in May to speak about what happened here in Canada. And for me to think that after 4 years and all the work we all did, this country did, to fight back, that they could actually still disregard that federal court order, disregard that there's no danger, and just simply restrict growing. And they have a right to do that. That's what sucks about the federal policy. They have a right to restrict and do whatever they want as long as they're not breaching our constitutional rights. If they're breaching our constitutional rights, we can address it. Like I said in Allard, we picked our fight. We never went after all the regulations. People think we went after the whole MMPR. No, we didn't. We went after the designated grower, the caregiver grower, and that's what we went after. The right to be able to grow in your home, because we thought fire, mold, and organized crime was bullshit, and we proved it. But that's a whole different thing. We only challenge certain parts. What's good is that Justice Phelan, through our expert witnesses, through our lawyers' expert jobs, that they did in the courtroom, they demonstrated that the MMPR was so bad that the whole program needed to be thrown out. And they came in with the Band-Aid, ACMPR. Now, my friends, I don't know what the new program is going to look like. I don't know all I can tell you is expect new acronyms next year. Expect that, and those new acronyms will come with new regulations. And those new regulations may or may not allow you to grow. I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. But all I can say is look to those licenses, look to the doctor's heavy-handed attempt to try to curve us into very small licenses, if any licenses at all. So if they do have 100,000 licenses in Canada, at least they're small gardens, like 25 plants, not a lot of big ones. You can see this, so flood your applications. And my friends, if you are not sure about the injunction, I tell you now, double down. Go into the ACMPR. If they screw you, send your impact statement to me so I can file it to John, like what's in his letter. That Cannabis in Canada email address is my address. And we file impact statements. This is how we done the whole case. If your doctor has screwed you, if you've been reduced because you're under injunction and you transitioned into the ACMPR, they reduced your amount. Remember, the injunction is a federal injunction. It trumps federal policy. So again, what you're looking to do is protect yourself on all aspects. And if you don't double down and do the due diligence of going to see your doctor and at least trying to get into the ACMPR, you're doing just that, not your due diligence. My friends, I love you all, and I'm just happy to have this S7 that I can actually share out to a lot of different places. And I wish I could see the comments. I'm going to learn how to use this thing a little bit better over time, I think. But right now, I don't. And until I do, that's all good. And we'll be able to do a lot more shows from a lot more different places. And I'm going to get the proper stand for this and all the different things that go with it. But welcome to technology. This phone can actually go up to 1 terabyte, and I can actually drop it in the ocean and still use it 5 minutes later. It's kind of a really cool how far we've come in technology and nanotechnology. So for all you guys out there doing live streaming, it's awesome to see. I remember back in the day there was only a few of us, original YouTubers, and now we got a whole ton. So for you guys out there doing it, look to get the Galaxy S7. It seems to be the best one for me, and it goes up to 1 terabyte of storage. So when you're looking at what you can put in here, it takes an SD card, and you can actually take that 1 terabyte, or in this case, I have 128 gigs plus 32 gigs internal on this phone. So I can simply pop the chip out and pop another 128 gigs in and fill that up just like you would your camera with an SD chip. So again, guys, it's a beautiful phone. Check it out. Love you all. Stay tuned for more, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting 2017. Gear up, check out the Cannabis Rights Coalition.ca, check out growingexposed.com. These are the cats I'm working with. And moreover, the coalition, they're the ones that protected you, and they're going to continue to protect you in 2018, 2017, because that's where we see the next couple of, well, 2000, sorry, did that backwards, 2017 to 2018. This is where we see the real summer legalization is next year. And when I say summer legalization, it just means they're going to roll out their platform for legalization next summer. And this is well established, like Mr. Conroy has put in his letter. And we need to be ready for that. And with the summer legalization will come, I believe, the summer of attrition. It's going to be a people's war. It's going to be a municipal war. It's going to be a provincial war where people are going to have to battle for what exactly legalization is going to look like, not only legally at the provincial and municipal levels, but also maintaining who has the legal supply from the federal statute. And right now, my friends, as again, I keep saying this on every show, as of April 1st, 2014, April Fools, they were supposed to take our gardens. They failed, but they did get in the legal supply. The only people that can sell and distribute cannabis, in this country is licensed producers. And until we change that federal regulation policy, and it doesn't change when we legalize, doesn't just make it so everybody can sell weed. That's not how it works. It just means that you're allowed to legally use it, and whatever the regulations that they add, but you certainly can't sell it. So this is cutting out every entrepreneur in the industry in a host of different ways. Now, if Canada wants to accept that, that's up to Canada. We, the people, can choose to repel that policy as well. This is Jason Wilcox, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.